Culture sensitivity, I think, is very important, and conservation of materials and resources. Now, this is my topic for tonight. And as an individual, I think I would like to share with you how I look at materials and try to implement it in design. And later on, maybe you can throw back some ideas to me because I myself am thirsty with some solutions. Mahirap talaga. Especially when you're faced with a client with a very tall order asking you to provide houses or buildings for them, make it green, and knowing that is very difficult to accomplish it. Hindi lang naman materials sa kalaban natin, actually, yung mga taong sinesolusyonan natin. Okay, now to fabricate products, it is necessary to cut down on the use of raw materials, we know this. And this way, we are able to limit the use of natural resources that are needed to produce paper, plastics, metals, glass, etc. Everything that we use in construction. So from raw materials, we get them from nature, we process it, we produce the material, we use it, and then eventually, we throw it away. Now we have to focus on this aspect of consumption. Reduce, recycle, and reuse. There are many cycles that can be integrated in the use of materials, and this is what I would like to explain to you. And I think before I purchase a material now, marami akong iniisip. Marami akong tinatanong sa sarili. Ito bang pinipili kong materialis na ito, hindi ako mapapaya sa kliyente ko. Kasi baka mukhain ako, demanda pa ako. So, what are the materials that we use on a day-to-day basis in construction? Paper, glass, metal, aluminum, plastic, stone, wood, textiles, tires, batteries. I'm not going to explain all of them kasi napakahaba nito. Siguro, in the next couple of months, somebody can touch on the topics that to be covered. Now, let's start with paper. What is it? Paper is made from wood and hopefully grown from sustained forest. The problem with using virgin paper is not that the trees are senselessly cut, but the way in which they are grown and maintained. So paper originally comes from papyrus. It has evolved from materials ranging from sheepskin, parchment, silk, and handgrass. Today, we get paper from forests. And they are pulp. They go into processing machines. We produce office paper, newspaper, packaging, colored paper, cardboard, etc. Now, there are processes in paper that can be looked at. First of all, from the raw material, you get it from the forest. The tree trunks are debarked. Solid pieces are chipped, sorted, and pulped, and washed with chemicals and processed to produce materials that we need on a day-to-day basis. So after use, ang ginagawa, sinesegregate, di ba? Pumupunta naman ito sa paper shredding machine. And it is cleaned with, it is de-inked, chemicals are passed, and water. So there's a filtration process isolating foam where the ink is skimmed. And then dadaanan naman niya sa isang machine na nag-bleach ng material. And large amounts of water are sprayed to fast-moving screen. So hinahalo ngayon ito, yung fresh at saka yung old, and process again in the paper making machine. So it's just a cycle. Bakit ko pinakita ito? So kung mamimili tayo, ito naman titingnan natin, o itong cycle na to. But mind you, this whole process also uses energy. Right? So, where do we focus our attention on? Eh dito sa Philippines, ubus na to eh. Alam natin. Pero dito, may potential. So, we have to safeguard this and we have to monitor the production for this. So, what are the problems facing the paper recycling industry in the country? There's a lack of markets for recycled product. Lack of funding for recycling, lack of enthusiasm for participation from consumers, and lack of appropriate recycling facilities. There's always a lack. Pero, is there a demand? Kayo ho ba ginagamit ninyo ang recycled paper? Okay. Glass. What is glass? Glass is a common household material made from a mixture of sand, soda ash, limestone, and additives. Again, glass has a recycling process. Glass bottles are delivered and stored in loading bays, transferred to hoppers, large contaminants are removed, crushed, screened to remove contaminants, passed through a big magnet para matanggal lahat ng mga labels at yung mga impurities. And then its cullets are vacuumed. Glass is run over by a laser beam para matanggal further yung mga particulates. Transferred to a factory, mixed with raw materials and melted down, molded into new bottles of jars. So, cycle na. From the original raw material. So, maganda itong process na to. Kasi, dun sa nabasa ko, why recycle? Because a 340-gram wine bottle can be melted and reformed into a 340-gram bottle with no waste or byproducts generated. Complete recycling. No wastage. So, I love glass. The most serious problem with glass recycling is the contamination that occurs when colors are mixed. We have to understand this. Ako lately ko na lang naintindihan. Blue glass is recycled as green. So kung titignan ninyo ito, although filter ito, yung recycling process pala ng glass from clear, eventually, pag madumi na yung kulay, maraming beses na recycle yan. So yung mga beer drinkers sa atin, dapat matuwa kayo. Kasi ito nagagalingan ng building na completely recycled na to. So, a few tips in recycling glass. Blue glass, well, if glass is returnable, ibalik na lang muna natin kung natin babasahin. Balik din nyo sa manufacturer. Return it rather than having it recycled. Why? Because you don't have to use energy to have it recycled, right? Recycled glass containers and glass paints, and not just dinner glass, wine, or beer bottles. Everything that is glass, bago natin itatapon. Pagpunta niyan sa dump site, na mangyayari, sasalayan na naman yan, material recovery facility, diretso na ninyo kung saan ang galing ito. Store your glass indoors until you are ready to recycle them. Unfortunately, saan natin dadalhin? Where do we move industry so that there will be this bridge between the consumer and the industry na mag-limit yung demand at saka yung recycling need? Metal. Of course, all metals are mined. The main problem with all metals is that all types of mining have a devastating effect on the environment. Alam natin yun. But we in the construction industry need materials to build. It's a reality that we cannot escape from. Everything that we use comes from nature. I reiterate that. So it has to be responsible use of the materials. Aluminum, considered to be one of the most difficult materials because hindi siya biodegradable. It has to be recycled. So anong lifespan ito ngayon? Every ton of steel recycled has to say 1,150 kilograms of iron ore, 650 kilograms of coal, 55 kilograms of limestone, 1.28 tons of solid waste, as well as reducing air pollution, water consumption by 40%, energy consumption by 75%. So, pag nagre-recycle tayo ng steel, ibig sabihin, ito yung nasisave natin. Nagkaroon tayo ng crisis a couple of years back when China was really developing fast. Naalala ko yung Olympic Stadium, sinisisi ko yan araw-araw kasi walang mabiling steel na mura eh. Sabi ko, sinaipon na lahat ng China yung steel. Tapos, yung mga budget ng mga kliyente mo, hirap rin. Nagtaasan yung presyo ng construction. Sana ang China ibalik sa atin yung steel.